Okay, well, so can I start with my presentation?
Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Well, I am going to talk about future technologies. I remember that the last um, the last course. I remember that I also talked about this topic, but now I have chosen another technologies that are very interesting. So the first one is electric or battery cars. A battery car is a vehicle that is propelled by electric energy, and this energy is stored in batteries. I think that this technology is very useful for us, but this technology has some disadvantages because it's very expensive. The cars are very expensive, and also the cars don't have the same performance, sorry, as well as a normal car. So I think that it could be a, a good replacement for the normal cars, but in a future. Also, one of the most popular implementations of this technology is the Formula E. Formula E is a race of electric cars, like Formula One. It's similar. This other one technology is the self-driving vehicles. These vehicles are also known as driverless cars. These kind of vehicles use a variety of sensors to run without human help or indications, but these vehicles need some sensors to work, and some of these sensors are radar, GPS, LiDAR, and computer vision. I find the LiDAR very interesting because this is a device that make a measure of the distance between an object and the car using the light. Also, one of the most popular implementation of this technology are Tesla vehicles. They have full self-driving hardware, but Tesla vehicles have a very big disadvantage because they are very, very expensive. I am talking about more than $2 million. They are very expensive, so I think that is it is not a good replacement for normal cars, and I prefer to drive my car. So, well, this third one is sorry. This technology is called artificial intelligence. This is an intelligence that execute intelligence. Sorry, it's an intelligence executed by machines, specifically computers. It's implemented in assistants, control systems, automatic scheduling, writing recognition, speaking recognition, patterns recognition, etc. Um, this intelligence is executed by machines using an special language, specifically an programming language. For example, Common Lisp is a very popular language of artificial intelligence. I I can see this technology used in, for example, in Google Assistant, also in Siri and Cortana. There are they are assistants, but I would like to see this technology use it in, for example, the improvement of business processes. Because when you are working in an enterprise, maybe sometimes you need some help, and it would be nice to have an artificial intelligence that can help to you improving the business process. So it could be very useful for the enterprise environment. Finally, I have found this technology is very interesting for me because I am a software developer, and this technology is called big data. The social media networks, new enterprises, Internet of Things, and another technologies are producing an exponential growing of data. So this is bad. The first databases models are not able to store and manage a very large amount of data as well as nowadays requirements. So the engineers need to make new technologies, new databases, because the data is very, very large and the computers are not able to store a lot of information. I am talking about millions, maybe trillions of data. And this is crazy because, you know, in your computer you have a hard drive, but the hard drives have some limitations. So the manufacturers cannot make hard drives to store, for example, 1 million of terabytes. This is crazy. And also, if you see to, for example, Facebook have a lot of servers. Facebook, it is not only one server. Facebook is composed by many computers, and these computers are interconnected, making only one database. It's a little complex, but the Facebook's database is distributed in maybe 100 of computers, for example. So the big data technology, its objective is provide a technology to manage a lot of data in a good way. There are new improved databases that are coming up and evolving constantly. It is a problem for me, for example, because I have to be very updated with the new requirements and specifications about databases. But also this is good for me because the new software of databases has more improvements and it can work in a better way. So, well, these are my technologies, and I have finished. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samuel. You know what? I think that it was really interesting. I was so surprised by many things that I hadn't considered before. For example, the cost of the Tesla cars. So, and well, for me, it was so surprising. Please tell me, do you have any questions for Samuel? Effie, Emiliano, Erika, Fer, Miriam?
No.
No? Any observation, any comment?
Well, I have a comment. Maybe
His topic is about future technology, but I don't know, maybe the cars that exist nowadays, it's a good technology, but I think that exists another kind of future technology, maybe I don't know, the machines that exist nowadays in China, but here in Mexico we don't have it. I don't know. And for example, data for me was so difficult. I try to understand the computer, but sometimes I don't know what is the function for different uh, instruction that I have in the tablet. I don't know. It's so difficult for me.
A little confusing.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Yes, so confusing sometimes, but really interesting because it's the way the servers work and the platforms. You know what? Whenever you mentioned about the big data, I remember the ILSE platform, and I was considering if it could be kind of like the databases that you were mentioning. Uh,
Uh, well, I suppose no, because when we are talking about big data, we are talking about trillions of data. I mean, for example, the Facebook is an example of many servers, many computers,
mhm,
and these computers are connected. But a lot of people in all the world is every day is making, for example, a new conversation, or even is logging or making a new account. Sorry, the people, many people every day is making a new account on Facebook, and
mhm.
it means more data. So when Facebook see that their servers, sorry, his servers are sorry, his servers are full, Facebook have one alternative. Facebook have to put other computer, other new computer, and connect to the existing database and just synchronize the database to distribute the information.
Like in a
Yeah,
network.
yeah. These databases are very complex because they are in many computers, not in only one. For example, I don't know if you um, have you used Access?
Oh yes, I have.
Okay, Access is a software for relational databases, but your database is in your computer, and that's all.
Yeah, that's it.
But when we are talking about big data, the database is in two or more computers distributed in a network.
Aha, now I see. Wow. You know what? It sounds really difficult. It sounds so complex. But well, it's interesting how they manage all of this. Thank you very much, Samuel. All
You're
right, so
welcome.
not other question. Any other question for Samuel? No? Anybody?
No, no.
All right. So a question. Do anybody of you is going to share also your speaking project?
I could,
Yes, of course. Go ahead. You know
but
what?
how
Eh,
can I share my presentation?
Well, first of all, open your presentation into your computer, and
Okay,
whenever it is open, you are going to look for the instruction of compartir pantalla.
okay.
All right.
It's open.
All right. Now, please look for the instruction where it says más. You can look for it.
Where?
compartir pantalla.
What is it?
Take the mouse to the top of the page. Where are the controls?
Top of the page.
It could be at the top or it could be at the bottom.
But in the classroom meeting.
Aha.
Okay, share.
Aha, share screen.
I select my presentation.
That's it.
And share.
Wow, great. Here we are. Future of Technologies, application of innovative technologies.
Yes, that's all.
Great.
Good night, everybody. My name is Miriam Reynoso Perez, and I'm interested for this theme because technology is present around of all history, human history. I think it's interesting talk about this. We live with technology, with science, with technique, but people don't know what does mean technology. What does they don't want know what does mean science. That is interesting. Let's go. Well,
all right.
Future of technologies has three important fields. I think there are the most important. Health, because if technology in the field of health doesn't exist, the human being uh, couldn't be couldn't be in the same population that we are now. The second important point is renewable energy. I think the human history is total dependent about energy. Because the use of energy show us how can we mold it, transform it, our entire surrounding. And the last interesting thing about this is new materials. Now, the first, health. New technologies in today's knowledge society and information technologies have become a sign of progress. The human has been the need for integrate to health technology in order to approach longer and healthy life. If we don't have health technologies, maybe we just can live 30 or 40 years, and that's all. Now our level of life is about 55, maybe 80. In some countries is almost twice that in the past, maybe 40s, 30s, the human could live 40 years, 45 years. The health system had been adapted in terms of development, assessment, and uptake of health technology as first innovation for pharmaceuticals and medical device. I think it's the first and the most important. Pharmaceuticals and medical device. Any drug, and in the doctor, we use medical device every day. Were very important. Followed by the health system can make better use of health, like vaccine, hormones, and genic therapy is goals of medicine technology. This field is not as well known as the pharmaceutical and medical device, but that is really, really important. Vaccine, hormones, and genic therapy. I think genic therapy is the latest frontier in the medical technology. Well, renewable energy. Renewable energy is produced using natural resources that are constantly replaced and never run out. For example, hydrocarbons um, run off in a short period of time. And actually, at the world, the reserve of hydrocarbons is less at middle than 50 years ago. In renewable energy, we have some interesting topics. The first and the most important, solar energy. We must remember that solar energy is the um, is the form is the energy that feed all around of the world. Plants, animals, all depends on solar energy. In this case, this solar energy we can use. Sorry, to convert into electricity. But in this field, the solar energy don't have a higher performance about this. The second, hydropower use. This hydropower energy use the force of moving water. Oh, sorry. This power is called hydroelectricity. In Mexico, it's very useful hydroelectricity, but for example, in Europe, hydroelectricity is not really used. I think in Europe, the nuclear energy is most useful than hydroelectric because hydroelectric produce pollution. The third, bioenergy is derived biomass. Biomass is all products that derive of organic compound. Organic compound, we can think about this if we think about all life. All life is organic compound, and from this, we can produce liquid fuels for transport, matter organic, and for example, we can approach waste, municipal waste to produce energy. The next, geothermal energy is stored as heat in the earth. The earth can produce heat. With this heat, we can generate when this heat, we can boil water, and with the steam of water, we can generate electricity. That is interesting. Not is a good way in all places around the world. Only some places around the world can use this type of renewable energy. This energy that head into the earth is from radiogenic elements like uranium, thorium, and potassium. But this can produce two volcanic volcanoes in general. Other renewable energy is ocean energy. The ocean energy we can use two types. Mechanical energy from tides and thermal energy from the sun's heat. Is the same. With this energy, we can produce electricity by use of turbines, and is a clean energy. And the last one is wind energy. It's generated by converting wind in electricity. For this, we can use wind turbine. These turbines are really huge turbines, maybe 20 or 30 meters. Can be these turbines. Wind turbines convert the force of the wind into a torque rotational force. which propels, this propels, transmit this movement to, I don't know how can I say in English, bobinas.
I guess they are, oh my, I have already forgotten that, but I guess they are like windings.
Mm, well, I refer electrical bobinas. I don't know.
Uh, I
Maybe
think it is winding. So don't worry, we are going to look for the word.
that's okay. And the third important technology, innovation technology is new materials. Materials for which? For construction. Anything that we can be constructed by the human need a material. In this case, I think 5,000 years ago, we used the same materials like uh, earth, metals, and that's all. The last century, the development was expanded, and now in this point, the new materials has been increasing, but now some important of the new material is that the scientists searching new materials um, that no cause pollution around the world. That I think is the most important of the new materials. The new materials will be cheap, will be friendly with the environment, and well, the future. I choose this quotation. Science means constantly walking a tightrope with blind faith and curiosity, between expertise and creativity, between pious and openness, between experience and epiphany, between invention and passion, and between arrogance and conviction. The last part I think is really interesting. The human could be really, really arrogant about their um, goals in this world. Um, and that's all. I don't know if something have any question about this presentation.
Thank you very much. Well, for me it was quite interesting, very interesting also. So I don't know, hey, you guys, do you have any question for Miriam?
No, for me, no, it's okay. Was so interesting.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else? No?
Mm.
Well, you know what? I would like to talk a lot. Well, you mentioned many different topics, and all of them were very interesting. What really attracted my attention was when you were talking about the biomass, because I've considered that if we implemented the biomass technology into our houses, we would not only save money because of the production of plastic um, fuels, but
Mhm.
also we would be environmentally friendly. So
Yes.
yes, I consider that it would be really helpful.
Well, in fact, biomass have a problems. Biomass could be produced some pollutants. I think the best way about energy is the hydrogen. ¿Cómo se dice hidrógeno? How
Hydrogen.
can hydrogen? Yes, the hydrogen is the most important about hydrogen is the most important investigation about clean energy, renewable energy.
Hey, that's great. All right. Well, Thank you very much, Miriam. I don't
That's a
know.
pleasure.
Yeah, do anybody of you want to show your presentation now, your speaking project? Hello, not everybody at the same time.
Okay, I will.
All right, Erika, welcome. Okay, so now Miriam is going to close her screen, and later on you could do it.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, uh, when Erika is preparing everything, I would like also to tell you, Miriam, uh, something that also attracted very much my attention was the final quote where they mentioned about the arrogance of humankind. I
Yes.
think that is the
Um,
principal problem because we modify everything.
yes, the human believe that they can do anything, but that is not really. I think the knowledge, the scientific knowledge, isn't isn't that true. I think scientific knowledge is construct a human construct. Um, 2000 years ago, we believed that the good created the world. Now we we uh, we can believe that the
Uh-huh.
human construct the scientific knowledge in a way that is convenient for the human. But the scientific knowledge is not representing the truth. That is that is false in any way.
I think that what they represent is economical interests.
A historic moment, social moment, economic moment. I believe that.
Fame and glory. All right. Well, thank you very much. I totally agree with you. All right. So, Erika, please go ahead.
Okay, can you see my presentation?
The Prezi presentation.
Yes. I'm loading. Okay, I think that it's load.
Uh-huh.
Let me check. Yes, it is working. Good night, my name is Erika Munive, and I'm going to talk about the future of legal technology. What change can you see happening over the next 5 years in legal tech? Well, my favorite list of predictions was made by legal experts from many companies. Here we have the list of predictions. One company is Relativity, other company was Ravel Law, the next is Fenwick and West, Tucker and Ellis is other company, Law Clerk is the last company maybe. Well, I'm going to talk a little about this because there are too much information. And the first thing you notice about the prediction list is that all of them agreed that lawyers would be tech savvy. And in addition, they suggested that some areas of law are susceptible to automation.
Automation.
Automation, yes. And And the future of technology is even more interesting than what is happening right now. In few years, we will be talking about visual analytics, um, maybe about legal artificial intelligence, assisting lawyers in practice, or judges in the courts. However, let's focus on highlighting the ways technology has changed the legal sector. At the moment, big law firms are exploring common standards for blockchain-based smart contracts, with which self-activated when verifiable milestones are reached. And there are more ways in which technology has changed the way we live. Robot lawyers and chatbots, the data that law firms collect and process about their clients are used to improve their internal operations and service. Finally, will writing is a field susceptible to automation. And about this, Noah Weiserberg, it's a lawyer, a female lawyer, said that I'm unsure of, let me remember. I'm unsure who the winners will be here, but I think this work won't be possible without aggressively embracing efficiency. And so overall, I recommend the television series named Black Mirror, as it is a new kind of series and not the usual predictable mix of fancy lawyers and boring conversations with their clients. And it is certainly a good choice if you want to know more about the near future of humanity's relationship to technology and law. And because lawyers are becoming legal tech early adopters about this technology in the world. And finally, I showed you the reference that I used to make this presentation. They are from the last year, and all the things that we have seen in this Prezi are becoming reality now. And that's all my presentation.
Thank you very much, Erica. You know what? It was astonishing. I didn't have any idea that it could exist. So I thought that everything was being renewed, but I didn't consider that even law and even the way that attorneys work could be also renewed by technology. So I don't know if somebody have any question, any comment about Erica's work.
I have a question.
Okay.
Good night, Erica. Do you believe nowadays legal tech is present?
Yes.
For me, it's a new topic. I hadn't never heard about this. Is present? This real that you say that is present nowadays?
Yes. It is real, and I'm working on that.
My goodness.
For example,
yes, that's why I choose this topic because I love that, and for me it's amazing, and it's incredible to have all of these discoveries in our lives.
Can you share us a case of something
Okay.
like this? Yes, that's interesting.
Well, an everyday case you can see when you check the page from government triple www.gov.mx. You will find all the service that government give to us, and they are using technology, and they are completely legal binded, because you can print your how do you say, acta de nacimiento,
Your birth
your birth,
registration.
yes, your birth registration, and a lot of things, even the curb or something like that.
Yeah, you're
Now
right.
we are using everything um, with a lot of facilities
Tina.
in
The,
our
the
house.
human use more and more technology. I think we going to find new problems. In this case, the
Yes,
largest would be actualized or
Up to date.
maybe any other professional that can help the people in general when we have any other problem like when in social networking. I don't know.
yes. Data protection. We
Yeah.
have a lot of problems even with the Tesla car, for example,
Mhm.
and that ethical problems, because the car that is self-driving, his code is made for one boy or one girl that could live in Mexico or could live in Australia or even in on other country like Asia or China, I don't know, far away from here. And maybe they have another kinds of thoughts. So for me, it could be important if the car was driven by itself, that the car doesn't kill a kid that is in front of him crossing the street. But for other person, could be important that take care of the old grandfather that is in front of him and not of the kid. So the machine has to decide who will dead, because the car should go on the road.
Yeah.
So there are many problems even for the codification of that programs or the data protection, because imagine that that's your car and maybe it crashed in front of the house of the president, so you will be considered like an terrorist, because it's your car, it was your car, you have programmed the car like a bomb, for example, or something like that.
My goodness.
Yes, there are a lot of problems with this.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. So we are supposed to be the owner, so we have
To
the
pay.
everything that could happen.
Yes.
Yes, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I keep on being astonished.
Yes.
More,
Life is changing. Uh, how can I say? Life is changing not too fast for my brain to
yeah,
understand what's happening in the world.
yeah, that's it. And that what you mentioned about the car that is programmed to go on the road, and so it has to decide who is going
Yes.
to die, the kid or the grandpa.
Yes.
I said, My goodness, of course, a human being would do any other.
But are important for us.
Yeah, but
But
for the car is just an obstacle in the road. So,
yes,
Jesus
yes.
Christ, for God's sake.
The grandfather could be the creator of Tesla car, for example, and
That's
the
it.
kid could be a son of a terrorist.
Yeah, that's it. So, but even though it is a car and well, it is a machine, even when we humans try to make any decisions like those, we are in a very difficult role.
For us, it's difficult.
Because you are talking about moral, about reasons, about any
Yes.
other motivation. Yeah, that's it. Hey, that was pretty interesting. Thank you very much. All
Thank you.
right. Anybody else's project? Come on.
Me,
Yeah, all
me.
right. Yes, please. Let's share.
Okay.
Okay, let me go out.
Thank
Second,
you.
please.
Thank you. That's really interesting.
Too much.
Well, I'm talking about something nice for me because I have in my life every day, each minute, each hour.
Wait,
And when I
just
read the topics, yes.
all right.
But it's an introduction.
Yeah, give me a moment. Erika, what you should do is just to close your the option of sharing.
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't can find what go out from the reunion,
Okay.
but I can find because yes.
Aha, that's it. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
thank you. Now you can do it, Miriam. No, it was
No,
not.
fair,
Sorry.
but let me find it because
All right, fair.
this is in share and you can see my screen.
We see your desktop.
Okay, let me find it. Mm, okay, okay. Well, my topic is something that I told you that was something important in my life because I have all day, every day, each minute, each year, each month since I remember. And I choose this topic because I think that love is so important in our lives. I think that I read some articles about that, and I agree with a lot of things that I read. And okay, I start. My topic is the health benefits of laughter. First of all, I think that love is the best feeling in the world and is the deep root feeling love. I think that you can bring that bring a lot of benefits. For example, one of the benefits is to lower blood pressure. For me, that was new because I I didn't know that. And in that case, you will reduce the risk of the stroke and heart attack. And maybe that is the reason that I never dead for an attack or for an heart attack because I am laughing all the time. I try to laugh even by myself. Number two, reduce the stress hormones levels. You can coat the anxiety with laughing. Number three is work your abs. You can help you tone your abs, maybe for the movement that you can do with in your face or in your stomach. You can you do exercise or you are doing exercise and you reduce the pimples in your face. Number 4 is improve cardiac health. You can, if you love love a lot, you have a cardio workout, and you are working, and you have you give to your heart a lot of benefit with all that movement and all that emotions that produce the love. Number 5, boosts T cells. For example, is when you laugh and you are active, T cells immediately can fight of sicknesses. You can, with laugh, you can uh, eliminate all the sicknesses and all the pain that your body has. And this is so interesting for me because maybe the laughing is the best medicine in the world, even to, I don't know, capsule or something pharmaceuticals. And number 7, produce a general sense of well-being. I read that doctors have found that people who have a positive outlook on life tend to fight diseases better than people who tend to be more negative. I think that, for example, when you have a disease, a big disease like cancer, for example, and if you receive that notice uh, with a negative position, maybe your disease increase faster. But if you receive that sickness or that with more positive uh, point of view, you can, I don't know, reduce maybe the sickness. It's depend of you, depend of the thing that you have in your mind. And for example, in this case, I have the the words that Charles Chaplin said, that is, a day without laughter is a day wasted. Wasted. I I like a lot to laugh with my friends, with my kids, with my husband, and with the people, because I think that laugh is a union or a tool to communicate with a lot of people. Maybe, for example, in this case with Effie, that I worked many years ago, I with a laugh we understand everything that we can interpret or that we can to say, but we can't. I don't know if you understand me that, but with a laugh or with a sound, we know all the things that we want to say. And I don't know, for me it's so interesting, and love have a lot of benefits in our body, in our heart, in our life, even in our face, because you can reduce a lot of things, a lot of the pressure that you can have in your life. And that's all.
Thank you very much. You know what? It was also very interesting. I have already heard about the power of laughter, not only in the physical stage, but also in the emotional. And when we are improving our emotional part by laughing because we are happy, we can be protected against some of the most dangerous diseases. So yes, I totally agree with you. And I liked very much also the quote that you mentioned about Charles Chaplin.
Yes.
That's it. All right. Well, I don't know if somebody have any question.
Yes, I have.
Please.
Okay.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
About this, do you think that love is a hormonal result, psychological option, a spiritual option, or maybe a mix of them?
I don't know. I think that are both. But first of all, is I don't know. I think that it's a I forget a cell inside of
Mhm.
you, because nobody or not all the people or have that uh, kind of emotion. I don't know. Some people maybe close or hide their feelings.
That's the reason for which I made this question. We um, choose we choose love.
Yes,
I think the power of love comes from a spiritual force, and in this way, it's not a just like human reflect love. It's a option. Is we must be convinced about love. It just in this way we can found the power of love that you explain us on your presentation.
well, I don't know. I think that everybody has that emotion inside. I don't think so. That was choose.
But not
I
everybody
don't know.
develop
Maybe
this power love.
for no, but for example, in my case, I laugh a lot, and maybe I stay in a bad situation, but I laughed. I don't know why, but I think I feel good with that emotion. I maybe I explode my bad feelings, and I don't like to have that. I prefer to be better, because my hormones, if I bad, are so bad, and I feel bad maybe 2 or more days. But if I laugh, I think that it's better. I think that everybody has that inside, but I don't think that was optional. Maybe exists a person that uh, doesn't like the laugh in front of other.
Or maybe
But
doesn't know,
sorry.
or maybe they doesn't know how can explore the power of love.
Uh, well, I don't think in that for me was so difficult. Maybe that thing is teached or taught by generations. My mother is like me.
Maybe,
My father, it's so serious, but he knows the how to laugh,
of
and maybe
course.
for that reason, maybe it's a chronological
Yes,
heritage. I don't know.
don't learn
I
about
like.
this. Thank you very much.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right. Thank you very much. I would call it emotional intelligence. I think
Yes.
that works. All right. Well, you know what? It was extremely interesting. All of your presentations were superb. Congratulations to you. I should add up something. I could listen to, well, different, a number of grammar mistakes, but it is understandable whenever we are speaking because we are paying attention on what we speak, what we say, and sometimes we are so nervous. So if I would have been correcting every single mistake I heard, very, very surely you would have lost fluency. And so instead of having a success about this class, we would have been failing because the objective for this class is to construct your fluency and your confidence. So don't worry about all of those grammar mistakes because, well, we are going to be giving you feedback during the classes so that we can finish with all of those mistakes. Well, I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything, to say a comment. No?
Mm, no.
Well, thank you very much for your attendance, for your attention. people who wants to present your speaking project can do it next class. So don't worry, we can keep on working with those. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Have a very good night. Thank you for your attendance, for your attention, and good night.
Good
Good
night,
night,
teacher.
teacher.
Night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.